And he opts to not bring this one out. The first drive will start at the 25. Slot man moves right. Now last year's leading rusher in the NFL, this is Jonathan Taylor. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. These two teams, they met up earlier in the year, back in week 2. And it was the visitors getting the win there, so they'll be looking for the sweep back here at home. The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. Set to throw is Morgan. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. This defense for the Jags, they were fantastic a week ago in that win over Houston.
And what I saw on film was a nearly unstoppable pass rush. 5 sacks last week, plenty of hurries given up. So now what do you do on offense? You just max out
right near the 35-yard line. A big play there on the catch and run. 38 yards.
Execution was one of their watchwords leading up to this one. And on that play, able to execute brilliantly here on this opening drive.
1st and 10, Taylor now. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. The Colts at 2 and 3 here to begin the new season. They were winners their last time out, so they'll be looking to make it 2 in a row.
And so much about football, partner, comes down to mindset. Being in the right frame of mind, and the best way to get in that good frame of mind, winning. So they come in feeling good. They get the home crowd.
And the Jags get to him as down he goes. That's Foley Fatukasi who got in there and finished off the play.
The competition comes up in so many different ways. And right now, this unit, their competition is who's going to get to the quarterback the most times. Had about 5 sacks last week. We just saw their first one of this game.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And he fires one that's intercepted. It's Devin Lloyd with a pick. And the Jags are going to take possession of the football. So far this season, this defense has had their issues against the pass, so that's a great sign for them to get the early pick.
Yeah, confidence builder for them and an absolute shock for the quarterback because he went into it. He saw the numbers we saw. He watched them on tape. I think he came into this one thinking this is going to be a big day, and it very well could be. But early in this one, advantage defense.
That's caught by his tight end, Evan Ingram. And they'll work this down inside the 30.
Such a tough position to defend near the line, even when you add a second defender. But the big man shrugged off the extra body and made the play call a success.
To throw again on 2nd down. Lawrence. That's caught on the left side by Kirk. And he'll be brought down at the 27.
Got it.
And they'll throw on 1st down with Lawrence. And that is incomplete. Now the coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down.
Against a team coming off a win, just as your team did the previous week, you talk about being physical all game long. Sometimes being physical is just being on the spot and helping force the incompletion.
2nd and 10 now from the 27. Now Lawrence. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. And he'll be marked down at about the 26-yard line. These two teams, division rivals, of course. And you remember back to Week 18 last year, although Colts fans don't want to remember back to Week 18 last year. The Colts needed a win. And the Jags, they were kind of looking ahead to 2022. But the two-win Jags came up with one of the shockers of the season. They stunned the Colts 26-11 in Jacksonville. And that loss ultimately kept Indianapolis home for the playoffs. So a critical mistake, roughing the passer. Now it's 1st and goal. A shotgun snap and again to Etienne. And he gets him a little bit closer. He takes it from the 6 inside the 5 to the 4. Be interesting to see now what they do offensively down near the goal line after not much there that time.
As the offensive play caller, that may change your sequence now. Instead of coming right back with a running play, you may have to go to the air.
2nd and goal from inside the 5. Once more Etienne. And not a whole lot there as they'll get him down at about the 2. Call it a gain of 2 as they're knocking on the door now. 3rd and goal.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
Now, they'd really like to make the short field pay off. We'll see if they can, but this is 3rd and goal. They're going to run this with a tight end. Boy, no chance as he was met and dropped behind the line there. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
Patterson's kick is good. And the Jaguars grab a 3-0 lead. So, Charles, they get to them with their first turnover of the game and then make it hurt a little bit extra with a field goal.
And anytime you give the ball up, what's the first thing a coach tells his defense? Don't let them score off of this. You've got to put out the fire. In fact, in 2021, that's what one NFL coach turned his defense. The firemen. Go out there, guys, and don't let them put some points on the board.
The Indy offense at the line and set to go. Their second drive here of the ballgame, Charles. Remember last time they threw the interception, but the defense held up. It bent a little but didn't break, only giving up the 3 points.
Yeah, obviously they left some points on the table there their last time out, but boy, they have to thank their defense for holding the opposition just 3 after they threw the pick. Their turn now. Back out on the field, put together a good drive, and get some points of their own. This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
Now left side on the swing pass. Only a yard there. Sniffed out well defensively, and it brings up 3rd.
Good reactions there defensively. That screen was a little slow in developing, and they shut that one down with little gain.
Throwing now is Morgan. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. Charles, you can just see the frustration on the sideline. Safe to say that's not how they expected this series to go. The ball only went one way, and it was backward into their own end zone, courtesy of the pick 6.
And, Brandon, how often do we hear offenses tell us before a game they want to end every series with a kick, right? A punt, a PAT, or a field goal. In case of a defense, they want it in with a punt or a takeaway. And we saw the takeaway right there, and it turned out to be a takeaway that turned into 6 points.
Bringing it out of his end zone, Isaiah Rodgers.
The Colts take over a 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And job one here, Charles, just keep possession of the football. 2 drives, 2 turnovers to this point.
You're exactly right, Doctor. Hippocratic oath. First, do no harm. And right now, they're harming themselves on offense.
I like that. No one is mistaking me for a doctor, though. But thank you, Dr. Davis. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to tough in here.
And just 3 yards on the catch there. He couldn't get away. And now it's 3rd and 3.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there on the defensive line. But once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. Here's Morgan to throw. Right back to Cook for another completion. And he is going to lose yardage here. Call it a loss of 2 there on the play. And it'll be 4th down. To punt on 4th down, here's Rigoberto Sanchez. Jamal Agnew is deep to return it. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. This is taken around the 12. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. A terrific return. 30 yards all in all. And the Jaguars go on offense, 1st down and 10. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. They're looking sharp, out early to a 10-zip lead and looking for more as they've got it 1st and 10. Meanwhile, Lawrence's throw into the hands of Kirk. And they're able to work this across midfield to the 48. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers.
And the pressure gets to Lawrence, and he'll go down. Yannick Ngakoue in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year.
The pass rush has been a real strength of late. They know how to get after the quarterback.
Absolutely. 4 sacks last week. That's their first one here. Anything in particular you've seen from them or on film?
I think that they're winning athletically up front, winning those one-on-one battles, but also when the offensive line wants to keep everyone in and mass protect, they know how to scheme their way back to the quarterback as well.
The Jags with the football to begin the second quarter, as they've got it with a 3rd down coming up. They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the first. On 3rd down, Lawrence. He'll connect on the out route with Ingram. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. So the completion good for just 3. And that's going to bring up a 4th down. On 4th down, on is Logan Cook to punt. They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. Oh, and what a play on special teams here. This is going to be down inside the 5, all the way down at the 2-yard line.
And he's got to be fired up about that effort. I don't think he could have walked down and placed it any better than where he ended up putting the football. That was excellent.
The Indy offense at the line and set to go. A carry by Taylor to start the drive. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. 2nd down, another run with Taylor. Fighting to get back to the goal line. I don't think he got there. He did not get back there. It's a safety.
The goal here is about getting any kind of positive yardage in this spot because you don't care who, you don't care how. You just want to try and buy a little space and get away from your own end zone. But in this spot, the defense was all over that play and equally motivated to stick them with a safety.
And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape up past the 30. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And Charles, a very uninspired effort the last time we saw them out there was a quick 3 and out, and they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
He's got a man, complete. And they're going to get this down inside the 20.
We see this happen so often. If you're a defender, it's like watching a bad movie over and over. The pressure is good, forcing the quarterback out of the pocket. But it's a lot to ask for these defenders to stay plastered to receivers long enough. And sure enough, they let a man come open, and the connection leads to a big play.
It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
Here's Robinson again on second down. And he'll be taken down here at about the 11. Just a couple on the pickup there, and now it's third down.
Well, how about the big guy there showing some agility? He just flowed from his D-tackle position in order to make that play.
The Jaguars on third down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This time they face a 3rd and 2. Looking to throw, Lawrence. They'll get this out to the flat for Etienne. And the Jags are going to have 1st and goal coming up as they're able to convert there on 3rd and 2. Lawrence will throw. And down he goes. Pressure gets him back into 14. So they've been in the red zone 3 times, and it's yielded just 3 points. Can they find the end zone here on 2nd and goal? From the gun, it's Lawrence. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. The pressure really ratcheting up. They get the sack on 1st down, then a near sack. They got to him there just as it was leaving his hand.
Yeah, they might need to change their pass protection scheme a little bit. Maybe bring another guy into the backfield to help protect the quarterback, because that was awfully close.
Big play coming here. It's 3rd and goal. A play fake for Robinson. Now Lawrence. And that is caught. Touchdown, Jacksonville. Marvin Jones, his 1st touchdown on the year, as his guys are able to push that lead out a bit further. Extra point by Patterson, up and good. And that will make this a 19-point game.
Logan Cook, the kickoff for the Jaguars.
After the touchdown, Cook now to kick this one away. Rodgers going to return it from his end zone. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25.
The Colts take over 1st and 10 at their own 24-yard line.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the 2nd quarter, but you're down.
Want to.
No, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy. When you're struggling on offense, you're looking for anything possible to get you going. Sometimes you do it like basketball teams that don't normally press. You put a press on, bring people to life, make them move a little bit quicker. Maybe that'll help them as they head towards the half.
From the gun, it's Taylor. And he still has yet to get on track in this 1st half as they're going to stop him behind the line. That's Foley Fatukasi into the backfield with ease and making the stick for a loss.
I have a feeling they'll stay committed to running the football, especially on their early downs. They just haven't had a whole lot of success just yet.
Now they contend with a 2nd and 12 after the loss. They'll bring a receiver in motion left. 2nd down, another run with Taylor. And he'll make it only to the 43, a gain of 2.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete.
Thus far, they have been able to move the line of scrimmage very well in the running game. Almost felt like they said in the huddle, can you guys pass protect? Let's take a big shot downfield. Didn't get it on that one, but they may come back to it again.
Sanchez on to punt here as he sends this one away. And problems spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone on the fly, so that'll come back to the 20. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
Hit as he throws there, incomplete.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up, not that time. So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. They'll run with Etienne. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Now Lawrence. The Colts are going to get him. Down he goes. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Out of the gun, it's Lawrence. He'll get this one complete to Zane Jones. A good pickup there, 13 yards as they get closer for 3rd down.
It's a gain of 13, but it's 3rd down.
They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. Now Lawrence to throw. Looking for Jones, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Julian Blackmon. And the Colts are going to take possession of the football. CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
They show run with 3 tight ends here on 1st down. Up the middle, here's Taylor. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Even though they gave up more than they wanted to on that play, it actually illustrates how well they bottled him up throughout the game because that was his longest run of this contest.
It's a jet sweep. This is Pittman. That he's brought down, but he has it down to the 12 on a pickup of 12. 1st and 10. An excellent run there coming from out wide.
And we used to consider these jet sweeps to be gadget plays or something a little bit unusual, right? But now most teams have some version of this play in their playbook. And I think it's a lot because of the receivers that are being developed nowadays. These guys look like running backs even though they're playing out on the perimeter.
The Colts going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 35 seconds to go in quarter number 2. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. They run once more with Taylor. And from the 9, they get this to the 5-yard line. Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. They'll try and run for the first with Taylor. And he'll be tackled about 2 yards shy of the line to gain. A 1-yard pickup leads to 4th down. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to leave them with a 4th down. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. This will be just a 21-yard attempt. Blankenship's kick is good. And that will do it. halftime here with the visiting Jaguars out on top. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the third quarter. The Jaguars in possession of the lead, and they will get the football as we are underway in this second half. And they'll bring it out to the 25 as Agnew elects for the touchback. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And, Charles, they've got the lead. Put your coaching hat on here now. What's the game plan for the second half?
I think getting the running game going a little bit more, because I thought in the first half they didn't get it moving the way that they would like. They had success throwing it, but I think these first couple of drives, they'll want to get those running backs going and give them more opportunities, and I will guarantee you that those guys were lobbying for them in the locker room at halftime.
To throw on 2nd and 10. Lawrence. This is caught. It's Kirk. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A gain there of 21 yards.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the third quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
And he swallowed up right near the line of scrimmage. To give the tackle to Eric Johnson. Throwing on 2nd down. Lawrence. Man open, here is Jones. And they'll get him to the ground. He has another first down at the Colts 35. Just his 2nd catch of the game so far. This one moves the chains. Now from Colts territory, here's a 1st and 10 at the 35-yard line. Off the play fake, here's Lawrence. To the sideline, and wow, what a catch there. He doesn't get a lot, but he was able to get the feed down complete.
Was that a receiver? Yeah, actually it was. It was a running back who was a receiver on the play. Ikey's been spending time in the receiver drills getting his feet down.
Well, those guys out of the backfield, they got to be good, agile with their feet. He showed the agility there with a toe tap.
No doubt about it. It's like he went to ballet school. Got the toes down and stayed in bounds.
Throw left side complete. That's Jones. Touchdown! Marvin Jones with 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game, as his guys have opened up a very comfortable lead. Extra point try now for Patterson. And that PAT pushes the lead up to 23 now.
Makes the score Jaguars 26, Colts 3.
After the touchdown, Cook now to kick this one away. On the return from his end zone, Rodgers. And he'll be out of bounds here, a yard shy of the 25 and the 24.
Take over 1st and 10 at their own 24-yard line.
The Indy offense at the line and set to go. They'll run with Taylor to begin the drive. Yeah, boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. They go to the ground again with Taylor. Trucks over him. And he'll take it ahead to the 28-yard line. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a third down. Another to really get this ground game established.
Yeah, and they've really struggled to be multidimensional in this one, haven't they, partner? Because they have to be extremely one-dimensional now if they hope to get back into this game. They'll have to do it by throwing the football and hope to have success through the air.
And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. The drive stays alive, a third down gain of 8. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. And the slot man goes in motion left. Off of a play fake, here's Morgan. And he's going to lose a yard or two, taken down behind the line. Multiple players getting home for the 1-yard sack.
What a nice read and play by the defensive tackle. Never bought the play-action fake. Went right for the quarterback and put him on the ground.
The sack cost him only a yard. It's 2nd and 11. Here's Morgan. This will be taken in by Michael Pittman. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. The catch and run going to wind up netting him 33 yards.
And that might be exactly what they needed to wake up this home crowd. They haven't given them much to cheer for so far. And never underestimate the effect the home crowd with you can have on a game.
Running straight ahead, Taylor. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are.
Now a handoff. Taylor with it. They got half of what he needed there, 2 yards, and it'll bring up a 3rd and 2 more.
Well, that's all about doing the dirty work right there defensively. 2nd and short yardage, that's all about plugging those gaps, not giving a running back a crease to run through, and has a nice job to hold him just a couple and force a 3rd down.
They're trying to keep the drive going. This will be play number 8. It's 3rd and 2. Now Morgan. Oh, he's got his tight end, Mo Alley-Cox, complete. And he is going to have a Colts first down. It's a gain of 6 that time on 3rd and 2. Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. On the handoff, this is Taylor. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. 43 yards on the ground for him so far.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
And he takes this one in for a Colts touchdown. Jonathan Taylor with his 6th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Colts get a bit closer. They'll try and throw for it. And now the pressure gets there, and he goes down. So he couldn't get rid of the football, and that deficit stays right where it is. Sanchez now, he'll kick it away following the touchdown. And no return here for Agnew, so they'll bring it out, start the drive at the 25. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. Now they've got the lead here getting late into the 3rd quarter. And the passing game for them, it's been terrific. We've seen that, but the rushing game almost non-existent.
And with the lead and trying to finish this game off, they need the running game to come back to life. They need to get sparked that way, take some time off the clock, and keep the ball away from their opponents.
Third quarter here in Indy. This is 2nd and 10. They go play action now. Lawrence. And looking for Kirk, but this pass is intercepted. Picked off by Rodney McLeod. And the Colts are going to take possession of the football. Well, still down quite a bit here, several scores. But, yeah, at least that's a start, Charles, getting the interception here. And, look, we're still in the third quarter, so this thing not done yet.
You're right about that, Brandon. This defense, they haven't quit on this game. They stayed with it and got an interception and handed the ball back to their offense. And what you wonder about is a team that just threw that interception, they've got to be careful about developing a sense of complacency and thinking this game is over.
No gain on the play. It'll be second down. They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL. And he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it one more time, so make sure you get in shape.
They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6.
I think we all suspected that they were going back to him after he found the end zone on his last carry, and they kept the positive momentum going there. Another nice run by him.
They had great starting position to begin the drive, but now they look up at a 3rd and 5. Again, it's Taylor. And he is going to lose yardage here. And a loss of 3 to bring up 4th.
I think we got to give it up for him right there. That's a heck of an athletic move for a big man right in the middle of the line. How about the play he makes there? Nowhere to run, and he finishes that one off for a loss.
Blankenship's kick is good. So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx him.
The Colts kicking team is out there now, and they will send this one away. And they'll bring it out to the 25 as Agnew elects for the touchback. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive. As they score here, especially a touchdown, it's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly, because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
It's still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Second down and a run by Robinson. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. They get 14 back, but it leads now to a 3rd down.
That's a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. On 1st and 10, it's Etienne. And he picks up about 6 as he gets this down to the 41. The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. On play action, Lawrence. Crossing route, and he hits his man. It's Jones. And they'll get him to the ground. He has another 1st down at the Colts 26. Lawrence. Open man right side is Ingram. The result, only 4 yards there on the play. And that'll bring up 2nd down. Back to the ground with Etienne. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10. And they'll go again with Etienne. Isaiah Rodgers up to make the tackle.
They're in a pretty good spot right now with a convincing lead. I think this is where they put on the boxing gloves, start to try and pound them into submission.
And the offensive line, they've controlled this game. I don't see why that trend would change now. Lawrence with the handoff to Robinson. 3 yards is half of what they needed. Now can they get the other 3 here on 3rd down? From the shotgun, Lawrence. And down he goes. Pressure gets him back at the 14. They bring a man off the corner that time, and he gets home for a loss of 6. Riley Patterson now on for the field goal. This to make it a 3-score game late. Patterson's kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So that almost certainly the final piece to this puzzle, a 3-score lead. I don't think there's any coming back from there.
But you know, normally I'd get on you for giving up on the game right here, but I do think you're right in this case. This late in the game, 2 scores is tough enough. 3, I'm with you. That seems out of the question.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And the complexion of this one has really changed a fair amount. That last field goal makes it a 3-score game, so they need points in a hurry with time dwindling in the 4th quarter. Give them 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
Morgan's throw taken in by Cook. He'll be stopped at the 35, but not before he picks up 7 yards. The Colts on 3rd down. They've converted a third of their opportunities, 3 for 9. They're looking at 3rd and a few inches. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36.
On 3rd down, that's a good job of situational football and understanding where the 1st down marker was and getting there.
Play action with Morgan. And he's going to be intercepted for the 3rd time thus far. Picked off by Tyson Campbell. And the Jaguars are going to take over here up near the 40. Well, offensively, Charles, hard to put a silver lining on this one. No secret that they had to take chances with a score where it is, and it leads to a turnover.
I love how you paint the picture, partner, because you're exactly right about that one. Look at the empty stairs on that.
He's got a man, complete. He's got this to the 30 before being taken down. It'll go as an impressive 31-yard gain. Boy, another big play late here for an offense, Charles. It certainly has had its fair share of big plays.
Coverage has been a problem all game long, and I would say that going along with that has been confidence. Because even if they had the right coverage, they've still dented them, and now it's been a real issue for them during this game.
And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete. They're still throwing the football here, and obviously the incompletion stops the clock. That's a bad thing.
Feels to me like they're just keeping them honest on defense, because you know they're going to stack the line of scrimmage and try and stop any type of a running play. Short little passes may work in exchange of running plays. Keep the clock moving, keep them moving.
I guess you're right. If they can get some 1st downs, just as good as running the football. And he'll be out of bounds as he gets this down to about the 21 or 22. That'll leave him with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there. They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. 3rd and 2, now Lawrence. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Bobby Okereke coming in to drop him for a loss of 8, and it also brings up 4th. Patterson's kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further. Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
The Indy offense at the line and set to go. Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest.
And his pass is intercepted for the fourth time today. Rayshawn Jenkins picks it off. And the Jags are going to take possession of the football. So that changes things. You get the interception, and then to boot, a good return tacked on.
And really, it was down to him versus the quarterback on the return, and that's one you would think the defender would win. But a nice job there of seeing the play all the way to the end and making the tackle by the QB.
Touchdown, Jaguars! Dan Arnold, a 16-yard touchdown. And the Jaguars add on to their lead, and they are also closing in on a fifth straight victory. Extra point by Patterson, up and good. And that stretches the lead all the way up to 27. After the touchdown, Cook now to kick this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. Well, CD, it's all window dressing at this point. I mean, the best they can do is in the game with a nice drive to maybe build some momentum to move forward into their next contest.
Yeah, and with how lopsided this game has been, even one score might not do a lot of cosmetic good on the scoreboard, partner, because it's just about looking forward at this point. Get a touchdown here, give yourself some positive momentum and reps to focus on when you get back to practice in the next couple of days.
There's a ball thrown right side and complete. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. A big pickup of 38.
At this stage, there's nothing left to do but to keep firing. And if you're a play caller, you may go off your sheet and use some things maybe you hadn't planned to in this game. Maybe that was one of them there that worked.
And not able to break away this time as they're going to stop him right around the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. Morgan looks to throw it. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Tyson Campbell. And the Jaguars are going to take over once again at their own 25-yard line. Well, there's two sides to this coin. I mean, on one side, 5 interceptions now thrown for him. That's tough, but man, this defense, they have been ball hawking and impressive. But, Charles, let's flip it back over. If you're coaching a quarterback that's struggling this much at this stage of the game, well, that's the 3rd interception for Lawrence. Picked up by Kenny Moore. And the Colts are going to get it back here just past the 35. Now they get a 4th quarter pick. A little something to hang their hat on, I guess.
Okay, so let's face it, though. Who's happy about this play? Fantasy guys, right?
Yeah.
The analytics will tell you one thing or another. That's a bad play on one hand.
And now here is another interception. Shaquille Griffin with a pick. And the Jags are going to take over once again at their own 37-yard line. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offensive coordinator, the quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10. That one looks like he'll throw here. Open man is Kirk, complete. And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped. So this will be a win for Jacksonville. Charles, for this losing side, their heads are hanging as they walk off the field today. And really, I mean, we know why. Those 3 turnovers by that offense, that's ultimately what doomed them.
And this is what coaches preach all the time to every team that we ever talk with. taking care of the ball on offense, trying to take it away on defense. And let's face it, when you give it away 3 times in one game, you make it very difficult for your team to get the W.
So for the Jags, their strong start to the year continues as they're up to 5-1. And they'll return home next week to take on the New York Giants. Meanwhile, for the Colts, they can't quite seem to turn things around as they fall into 2-4 now on the year. And they'll try to rebound next week.
Lights, cam, prime time action. Run it up, touchdown, I'm snapping. In the field with the plays, John Madden.